So, right, Etsy got back to me about the recent changes that mean Etsy descriptions are now going to be counted and impact where your listings rank in search. So, descriptions are part of your SEO now. And people were asking me and asking everywhere, does this mean that if you change your descriptions on a listing, that your SEO is reset, that your listings are de-indexed and are going to take that 30 to 60 days to show up again in search for Etsy to figure out what was going on? I had my own ideas about this, but I don't want to just say what I think. So I decided to message Etsy, and it took a bit of backwards and forwards. I was in chat with them for a while, a while to say the least. And the person in chat wasn't even aware that the changes to the descriptions was a thing. And I don't blame them. Look, Etsy's a massive company, and not everyone is told all changes that are going to happen. So don't get mad at the poor customer support person. They don't necessarily get told everything in advance. But as I knew would happen, it was upgraded to being sent to email support. You, if you've got a big question, you should always be wanting to email, because then it has a better chance of getting the right person. If you phone or get chat support, that person likely doesn't know and will have to put you up the food chain. If you've got a simple question, phone or chat support's good enough. If you've got a more complicated one, they need the time of email. Just my 2p worth there. But anyway, it went up the food chain. And what always happens with email support is you're going to get a stock reply, a canned response, which is very annoying. But you just have to go through that and be like, yes, I am aware of the ultimate guide. I do kind of talk about it quite a lot. And yes, I'm aware of the changes. But here is my question that you didn't answer yet. And yeah, that got upgraded again to another person. And then finally, I think on about the third person, they did answer my question. And they answered my question with exactly what I thought. Changing your listings does not reset the clock. There is no clock to be reset. The only time thing that is taken into account with Etsy listings is brand new or relisted listings get a slight boost in search. And from what I've seen in my experimentation, a new listing or adding new keywords or something maybe takes a day or two for the personalization algorithm to notice you. This is perfectly standard on search engines. It takes them a little while for them to notice a change you've made, but a little while, a day or two. But it doesn't reset everything else. All your keywords that were already known by the algorithm, all your keywords that Etsy has seen your listing and got some data for and understand how they work, they're all still there where they always were. Nothing has changed there. If you make a change, it doesn't suddenly put your shop back to nothing, and you can test it yourself. Find listings with keywords that you know where you're ranking for. You're ranking somewhere you can find yourself quite easily. You can use the eRank rank checker tool, but you can also always double check by searching on Etsy as well. Be aware that where you see yourself on Etsy will be a little bit different because of the personalization algorithm. So Etsy looks at you and says you're very unlikely to buy your own listing, so you won't see yourself quite the same place as everyone else will. But you certainly would see if you were suddenly de-indexed, if your listings were no longer available to be seen. You will see that. So if you make a change on any of your listings and not the keyword that you know where you're ranking for, you're just doing a little test. So if you make a change, go back over the next day several times and search yourself, search for yourself. If you go and look into all of that and you can still see yourself, then the clock has not been reset. So yeah, that's what you need to do. Just to put yourself, because I know so many people don't trust what Etsy's saying. That's why I always test these things, test them. But there's nothing that's resetting the clock. I will say at the minute in time, any tests that I have done, keywords, words in your description are not really factoring in ranking at the minute in time. I don't know if it's just going to be a tiny factor or or if it's just not rolled out properly yet. I will keep testing and I will let you know as soon as I find out anything here. But the age of your listing, you know, if you've changed your listing, the only reason that can cause your listing to drop out of search. You might change your listing, you might have changed your title, you might have changed your description, you might have changed your tags. If you see yourself dropping out of search, that is not because the Etsy algorithm has gone, oh no, they've made a change, we must reset them. That could be one of a couple of things. Firstly, it could be that you've removed keywords that were driving you traffic. The algorithm, if you take away the words, are not going to show you in that search so much anymore, unless you were like amazing. But in general, if you take away the words, then that could cause you not to be seen in that search, because the words you have in your title and tags and now description are part of what they'll use to know what your item is. So if you've removed the words, you could see a drop in your views and you could see a drop in your sales. The other thing that you can also do, if you've changed your description or your pictures or your title to something that is just unappealing to buyers, when they see you in search, they're like, I don't like the look of that. I don't understand that. I prefer the look of something else. You'll start to get less clicks, you'll get less sales, Etsy will start to rank you lower. But just making a change, like if you suddenly see there's a typo in your title, change it. It's perfectly okay to change it. I don't know where this myth came from. There are millions of myths running around the internet. But if you're unsure, ask Etsy. If you're unsure, experiment. Test on a listing that's not doing anything. If it's already broken, you can't break it. Experiment. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below, and I will see you next time Etsy does something. Bye bye.